going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job.
Tell me why. Why can't we live together? Tell me why. Why can't we live together? Everybody wants to live together. Why can't we live together?
Hello, all you melanated beauties, sun-kissed by God's lips. This is Coy with your black tea sip. I'm sipping power to pour you the truth. Go grab your cup. Let's give it up.
All right. Happy Friday. It's beautiful outside. We have our health. I turned 50. I feel marvelous. Today's a great day. So I want to go a little further. So we had this conversation last week about relationships. And then Lori Harvey. Well, another one bites the dust. Michael B. Jordan has been added to the list of casualties. I'm sure at this point there's a support group that he can join. And so I just think that maybe we ought to talk about dating because you all responded. And I got DMs, I got texts, I even got a couple of phone calls. And then I got a couple of in-person meetings where people were saying, Coy, I need you to talk about this, or I want to ask you that. So I thought, okay, we'll talk about all the things that happen in Black life, but we will talk about dating because some of y'all are really out here failing in these streets, Lola. Some people are, and since we have Lola's Love Life, I think we should talk about it.
Well, are they failing, or they just, don't have the bylaws of Coy's dating? I think you can't really win if you don't have the tools.
The rules. Yeah. Well, let me say this. No, some people are out here failing in these streets. I literally had some texts and some DMs where people were saying, Coy, I'm failing in these streets. Now, I was
I will say this: when dating, and if you're like intentionally dating, there are highs and there are like extreme lows. So extreme highs and extreme lows. So, and those extreme lows make you feel like you are failing. I
think maybe to fail does not make you a failure.
Right.
And
right.
I think people internalize that, but I think the real issue is. Are you one of those people like Michael B. Jordan? Were you dating to marry? Clearly he was dating to marry. Or are you...
Do we know that to be true, though?
Well, I mean, Steve and Marjorie have gotten all the way out here and told all this little girl's business. I'm like, you need to rein your parents in. Like, he's telling... Marjorie Harvey literally said there's a lot more to the story. And, people were in this uproar because they said... She deleted his pictures from Instagram. Well, I mean...
They broke up.
When something's over...
It's over.
Listen. When you finish the chips, do you leave the bag sitting on the table? No, you throw it away. You don't leave it for everybody to see that you finished the chips.
So how old is Lori Harvey?
She is 25.
Okay, and I think he's, 33, 30?
35. He's 10 years her senior.
So
he was dating to marry.
Yeah, so their whole... Now, the question is, what were expectations or intentions, said in the beginning of their relationship?
Do they have to be said?
I like to say my expectations, because if I find out that you have a 32-year-old daughter... We're not in the same bracket.
I think, truly, I know a guy that I talked to, for a moment, that was literally, in the conversation, he was talking. I was like, well, would you want to get married again? I mean, I've checked that box. Mm-hmm. So he was like, well, yeah, and he wants to be married. And you have men that do feel more settled being married. And so he said, and he was talking about he previously dated this girl that was in her 30s. Well, now he was older than me. And when I was dating him, he was already 50. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking to myself, and he was saying he would be willing to have a child if she didn't want. And I'm thinking to myself, but if you had a child today, if I don't know, 51, 52, then when before the child could get out of school, college, if the child decided to go to college, you would be 75 years old, damn near. I mean, sir, they gonna ask her if you her pawpaw. So
they definitely gonna look at you as a pedophile.
So this idea that men are willing, and there are some men that are literally willing to start over, but he's gonna leave you with a child because he's gonna be dead. He's gonna leave you. So I think it's important to have these conversations, but understand.
Okay, so on the dating sites, there are guys that will say, I am recently divorced. I have one kid, not looking to have any more. Basically, it's not happening. It's done. And you kind of have a real respect for that because...
Well, yes. But we had the conversation about dating to marry. Mm-hmm. So, dating to marry. So you have this idea that you're setting it out there, right? You're telling people, okay, I want to get married, and I want you to understand that I'm dating because I want to be married. That's what dating to marry means.
Okay, right, and you have a problem with that.
I just think it's stupid. I don't know that I have a problem with it as much as I think it's stupid. I think it is stupid.
Don't you go to college to get an education?
Okay, help me. Where is this going?
So I'm just saying. So okay, so if you're dating to marry because you're dating because you want to be in a long-term stable relationship under the union of God.
Under the union of God. So therein lies the caveat. Under the union of God.
Oh, Lord. Jesus.
So, okay, because I could really Oprah stepping my way on through this thing. But I've already checked that box. I was behind the white picket fence, the 2.5 kids and the dog. I've already done it. So, I don't know that I want to be 75 and single. But, if it's somebody there to witness my life, I don't know that, I need a piece of paper. I don't know. We'll see what the future holds, but I'm certainly not dating to marry.
Okay, so there are several types of dating. We can say that there are several types of dating. Yes. Some people are dating.
And Lori Harvey was doing one of them, which was having fun.
Yeah, I don't find that. I mean, and these body counts people keep putting on her.
Well, see, that's the problem.
And that's so disrespectful.
Well, is it disrespectful? I mean, you out here and you half naked and your ass is out with your man on vacation, so everybody can assume. I mean, we all know where babies come from, so we can assume.
But she's having if she wants to be a liberated woman, I think that's
here for
fine.
it.
Yeah, I mean, what you do, you have to. Be okay with the consequences or the
I think it's unfair. She's 25 years old and all of her business is out here.
Well,
but she can control that.
Right.
But I don't, I don't know what people expect from Lori Harvey. I'm going to say this and then we're going to take a quick break. Her mother, Marjorie Harvey, who I do not know, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't even know I breathe air. So we want to hear it go. Her mother has children that are allegedly cousins and half brother and sister at the same time. We're going to take a quick break. This is called the Black Tea Sip. If you want to know more about that, stay with me. Give me a like in a minute.
Nourished skin is healthy skin. Simply Ardor skincare products provides luxurious nourishment for your body. Indulge in rich scrubs and body butters and top it off with our sensational and unique aromatic lines of sprays and roll-on fragrances. It's simple and lovely. Simply Ardor. Love is real. Just spread it.
Yeah, if you came to get some real music with a real vibe, then you came to the right spot. You know what it is. 99.9. It's DJ Candy Can. Here with Loose Cannons. Letting y'all know we about to do this like a fresh pair of Lokes on Easy-E. Baseline shade.
Let me put my shades on. It's cooler than being cool. Ice cold. Let me put my shades on. Yeah. It's cooler than being cool. Two froze, shades on. I guess you get what you asked for. You can't bullshit the matador. I see the sunset, I see the shore. To the core concrete, I go hard when it pours. When it rains, pain. Club a lane, no shame. Cock back cane, Bob gun, go pain. Top hat cane, come a bun, 2 chains. Looking like a Millie, having fun, Lil Wayne. I've been this way since I paid for my school grades. By the pool, sipping Kool-Aid. With Shay Shay in the finger waves. Play dates in the backseat, bitch, I'm on my cool J. Take pride in surviving the stakes as I take the ride. Just hoping don't no break supply. First to rise, I want the whole cake, the pie. The lights are blinding, hold up, let me put my shades on. It's cooler than being cool. Ice, let me put my shades on. Yeah. It's cooler than being cool. Two froze, shades on.
My hands, pockets in the spliffs, farther to your flow. Wards in the cliffs, I push off the cliff just to see what your falls like. Just to see what your balls like. I drag nuts, can't carry too heavy. Busting down your walls like Katrina did the levee. Knocking in your box, Capri Chevy 99.9 UMG. If today was today, then tonight.
All right, and we're back. This is Corey with the Black Tea Sip and Lola of Lola's Love Life. And we are talking about Lori Harvey. And y'all are out here in these streets celebrating the love of Marjorie and Steve Harvey. I mean, you know, if that's your thing, that's what you want to do. You keep your standards low, that's all right. I mean, so, you know, I mean, Steve said he got married so many times because he was homeless and he needed a place to stay. That's not my words, those are his words. And then he looked in the audience and he saw Marjorie. So he's out here intentionally marrying, if we use Lola's words. And so, you know, he meets a woman, she let him move in because, you know, she's dying of thirst. And when you die of thirst, you drink from a mud hole. So she goes and gets a homeless man who's trying to build a career, and she moves him into her house, and then they procreate, and, you know, they're fruitful and they multiply and they have these children. And so then he looks in the audience one day and he sees Marjorie. So we know his standards are low because he's getting these women that are just letting him move in homeless. So he sees Marjorie and his love at first sight. He gets struck by a thunderbolt. He, you know, has the Cupid's arrow hit him in his heart. And so Marjorie then picks him up and dusts him off. But y'all holding Marjorie to a standard. Now listen, I don't knock the hustle, and everybody got a right to do what it is they want to do. But her first husband was a drug dealer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, and she had children by him. That was her first husband. And then he went to jail. And Steve talks about how, you know, spiritual or religious Marjorie is. And, you know, she was the one that told him, if you want to elevate, then you have to do this and that, because God is not going to elevate you wearing these big, wide elephant leg pants. Those are their words, not mine. I'm just paraphrasing for the people. And so you have all of this going on, and she is biblical in her thinking based on Steve. And so in the biblical times, when the husband died, the brother took his brother's wife because he did. I mean, so that's what happened. That is what happened. I mean, allegedly, because the woman does not talk to me. This woman don't even know I breathe air. So, but this is in these streets. You know, this is what they saying in these streets. And so I actually know someone who knows her family. She then hooks up with the brother. I don't think that they married, but then it is rumored that they had children. Therefore, her children will be half brother and sister and cousins at the same time.
Jesus,
I'm just listen. Her husband begets children biblically.
Will this will this cloud their judgment?
I'm just saying, if your mama get down, you probably down. I mean, you know, you should get it from her mama. She get it from my mama. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And
it's home training.
And listen, they all for the come up. I do not knock the hustle. I have nothing. I don't think anything's wrong with Marjorie Harvey. I think she's a beautiful woman. I respect the hustle. I don't think that Steve would be where he is if it wasn't for her. But I think that she just took the dope game to the comedy stage. I think that's what I think that's how, you know. Y'all celebrate Jay-Z, so yeah. I think it's fine. I don't like the baseball caps and the skirts and the high heels, but, you know, to each his own. So, you didn't see that? The baseball cap, the multi-hem skirt, and it was a mess. I was like, what is happening to her? So, I think that Lori Harvey is out here at 25 years old, having a good time as a 25-year-old should.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she has it. She's worked for the body she has. She's a beautiful young lady, and she gets to and she is deciding who she wants to be with, right? She's not waiting for someone to decide to be with her. And she's living her best life, and she won't have any regrets. Some 25-year-olds over there, maybe.
Because, see, I think, I talked about the whole Jada Pinkett Smith thing, and I don't know how you could be offended about somebody talking about your head when, you done put your coochie out here for everybody to know about. I just don't understand that you can't talk up under her clothes. You can talk up under her clothes, you just can't talk about her bald head. But I think that Jada has regrets for, living out loud and putting it all out there. And so I want to talk about dating 101. This is just this. Look, y'all do what y'all want to with this. Y'all ask for it. Want to hear it? Here it go. Stop telling all your business on social media. Stop. The reason they knew that Lori Harvey broke up with Michael B. Jordan is because she deleted his pictures. Now, listen, I'm all for the deletion. I deleted all my ex-husband's pictures. And why? Because I said, when you finish the chip bag, you throw it in the trash. You don't leave it on the table for everybody to see that you ate the chips. So you get rid of it. I did that because I did not want anyone who I would date in the future to think that I'm holding out hope for this man. I didn't want anybody to think that I was nostalgic for him. I wanted it to be understood that the relationship had been severed. The book was closed. It was done. And I didn't care to look at the pictures because, I think when a relationship ends, whether it's a marriage or even a situationship, for those of you that enjoy those, and it's a lot of y'all out here that don't know the difference between a relationship and a situationship, and I'm going to educate you in just a moment. However, I think that when those relationships, and even when you don't want them, even when you want it to end, there is a grieving process. There is a mourning process. It has to end, and you have to go through the stages of grief. Some of us get over them faster than others. I was a speed griever. So sometimes that is
speed griever.
Speed griever.
Expand.
Well, you have 7 stages. I did all mine like in a week. So 7 days.
One day at a time.
I mean, I was like feeling like some kind of way, and then I was like, but you don't want to be there. So I get over it. But I'm different. I think that there should be, in a relationship, you should allow yourself one day to kind of have all those feelings that you have for a man, and then 3 days for a situation.
1 day for per year? I mean, because if someone's been with someone for quite some time, it's going to take more than...
Not necessarily, because when one door closes, like 3 more open. Just wait. Like when you get in a relationship and you're really in a relationship, you're going to have them coming out of the woodworks for you. Well, at least me, baby. So you just have, you have these things where these guys, it's like a radar that goes off in the universe, right? And so they say, oh, she's with someone. Let me see what I can do. And so then when that closes, you have some people that pop up. Now you make a decision what you want to do with them, but you don't have to be lonely and bored unless you are one of those people that doesn't know how to date.
Okay, so you say stop putting all your business on social media. Are you talking about like posting the dating pictures and you all are not in a serious relationship? Because explain, because when you're single, you're posting where you're at, and I definitely am posting on social media.
You do,
and so it's me, and so what exactly are we talking about? Now, I'm not posting any news because you will get blocked for that. But,
So I personally don't believe that you should be telling all your business on social media. I actually don't think that you should tell people where you are on social media, because then, this dude who you don't want to be bothered with is showing up. Well, stop telling him where you are. Or woman. Because it's some men that don't want to be with some of y'all women are just ticky boom boom, and they don't want to be bothered, and you need to be able to read the cues. So if he says, well, look, I'll holler at you later, I think I'm finna lay down, and then you see on Instagram that he's out, Well, he's not laying down out, ma'am. He just wanted you to know that he's putting this conversation with you to bed. That's what that means when you say he's going to lay down.
So what's, okay.
So you're asking me about posting.
Yeah.
If you're in a serious relationship.
Okay.
What is it that you want me to know? Like, I don't understand people that say, happy birthday, baby. Happy anniversary, my love. Why do I need to know it's y'all's anniversary? Why do you tell me to help you tell your wife or your husband happy birthday? Why do I need to do that? Do you really think that I care whether or not she has a happy birthday or not? I mean, that's not part of my ministry. So why are you telling me that?
Well, I think it's a form of expression. Just, it's happy birthday.
Let me tell you what expressions are.
Okay.
Diamonds.
Oh, absolutely.
Airplane tickets. Gifts that keep on giving that either turn into something that can be sold if times get rough for you. Those are expressions of love. One of a kinds. If you're into books, I mean, I don't know. You into shoes. Even a spa day. I had the remineralization. I walked in there feeling 60. I walked out that booker feeling 25. That is a gift, honey. Me telling your significant other who I met no times happy birthday means what? And let me say this. When you do that and you get a particular person or people to tell that person happy birthday or happy anniversary, let me tell you what insecure people do. They run down that list to see who said that, and then they want to know who Jane Fossifar is. So you just opened up a can of worms.
So now you have a lot of explaining to do.
When you just wanted somebody to tell the heifer happy birthday.
Okay.
Why? Why do I need to participate in that? You need to understand, somebody made the comment to me a few years back and asked me about a man I was seeing. And she said, and I quote, "Are y'all still incognito?" What? Now, I've had a birthday party. You've seen this man here. You've seen me and this man out together at major events that happen in the Black life in Dallas, Texas. And she says, "Are y'all still incognito?" How are we incognito
if we're publicly
together? Out?
Yeah.
Holding hands, forehead kisses, hugs and things. What is that you need? What she was looking for is the social media post.
The certified post.
The one that's USDA
in a relationship.
That I'm in a relationship. She's looking for me to actually say in the Facebook, in a relationship. Let me say something to you. Y'all got in a relationship out here. Lori Harvey, bless her heart, she was in a relationship. You're not in a relationship if you're single. You're single. You need to still be doing single ministries at the church house. You are not in a relationship because that's your boyfriend, because that's your girlfriend. You see somebody. Y'all are not in a relationship for Facebook. That's not what a relationship is. You are really, y'all want an announcement.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what y'all doing. Look, I'm good for psychoanalyzing. Here it is. Want to hear it? Come on over to the porch, baby, and get in the rocking chair. Let me help y'all out. This is what you're doing. You want an acknowledgement to the world that somebody wants you. You are trying to tell the world that you are worthy of love.
Yeah.
That is what you're doing when you say in a relationship. Because know this, a man with a wedding band on is far more desirable than one without. I don't know why that is. I think that's unfortunate. Nobody cares that he's married. And they don't care that his social media post says in a relationship. Because know this, a girlfriend, a boyfriend is like a cold. You can get rid of them. I know. So this idea that you represent your relationship completely and totally for the world on social media is problematic. You don't need to do that. Now we had, and you remember Lola, we had Kim Cooks on here, Judge Cooks, and Vonda Bailey had this whole contrived story that many of y'all like because y'all messy, and had this whole story about this girl was dating Kim's ex-husband and Kim was mad at her and blah, blah, blah. And it just went on and on and on. It snowballed into a complete fiasco that was contrived and untrue. And the reason I know it was untrue is because I said, where are the pictures of you and this man that you've been dating? And she had none. Now they said it, he said it, and she said it because it was a takedown of Judge Cook's. But there were no pictures of the two of them and I know that because if she had had them, she would have revealed them.
Right.
Now you can say I don't post on social media, but ask me if I have pictures. We do. He does, and I do. Mm-hmm. We do.
So
and there have been a few that I've posted, just to make a point about whatever. But I don't need a chronological order of our relationship on social media.
Okay.
So there's this idea that I have to tell the world so that guys will think I'm off limits. Sir, ma'am,
but
ma'am, sir, that does not work.
Thinking about what other people are going to think. I think people can be very excited to finally be in, a stable relationship or be with someone they really, really love or like, and they just want to share it with their friends. Now, I don't know. I do have a lot of Facebook friends
that you don't even know. That you don't even know.
Not my friends. However, when you get good news or anything like that, or you start a new position, you're always wanting to share good information or what's going on with you and update. I do understand that you should, be mindful of what you're sharing,
Happy birthday, boo.
Oh, my God.
Happy anniversary to the love of my life. We had a great time at the X, Y, and Z ball. Come on, baby. Show them what you look like in the suit I picked out for you.
Oh, God.
Stop it. Stop it. Because I know many years ago, one of my line sisters, she gonna be mad that I tell this story. Her good friend, I'm not gonna call her good friend's name, her good friend was talking about, he better not come home after midnight, honey, he got a curfew, blah, blah. So this conversation goes on, and so I finally say, how old is your son? And she said, my son. Everybody turned around and looked at me like I had sprouted another head. And I said, well, yeah, you were talking about your son. She said, my son? I was talking about my husband. Your what? So I said, well, does he work? She was like, yeah, what you mean, does he work? I said, so I'm understanding you to say that a grown man who gets up and goes to work every day, contributes to the household, has to be in the house by midnight? That's what I'm understanding you to say? And she looked at me like I was crazy. This thing about control and trying to make a person do something is also part of social media posts for a lot of people. Not everyone falls into this category.
Right.
But for a lot of people, they are trying to tell people that they are worthy of being loved, and they want an acknowledgement of their relationship on social media. When women say those kind of things, or men, let me educate you about something. They could tell you that they're going to the dentist. They can tell their job that they're going to the dentist. And they can have a whole hour and a half tryst during working hours. So this thing about trying to keep somebody in the house and keep them at home and don't tell nobody and tell everybody, look, people do what they want to do. Now, I'm going to tell you how to make sure that they don't want to do somebody else. This is called with the Black Tea Sip. In a minute, we're going to take a quick break.
Do you want to find a stable job in a growing field? IT jobs such as network systems administrators, cybersecurity, programming, cloud, and computer systems analysts are expected to increase 25% by 2022. Texas Premier Technology Institute offers training for top certifications such as CompTIA, Cisco, and Microsoft in less than 12 weeks. And if you're unemployed or underemployed, you may qualify for free tuition. Contact TPTI at 1-888-490-TPTI or check them out on the web at tpti.us.
What's up, Sir Charles?
Time Bud, what's happening with it, baby?
Say, man, I messed up, man.
Oh, yeah. What you do, man?
I think my baby done left me, man.
Oh, Lord.
I don't think she gonna take me back. You know that old saying, they say you never miss your water till your well run dry.
Trust me, I've been there, done that.
Man, I never thought that'd happen to me. I was wrong. For hurting you. Baby, for hurting you. Yeah. I was so wrong. So wrong. For breaking your heart in two. Breaking your heart in two. All you did was try to love me, baby. Love me. But I was out acting a fool. Acting a fool. Acting a fool. So I'm asking you to please forgive me, baby. Forgive me. Cause I'm so afraid of losing you. My daddy used to tell me, son, you never miss your water. Never miss your water. Yeah. Yeah. Till your well run dry. Till your well run dry. I never meant to hurt you, baby. Never meant to hurt you. No, I never meant to make you cry. I never meant to make you cry. You never miss your water. Never miss your water. Oh no, babe. Until your well run dry. Until your well run dry. I never meant to hurt you, baby. Oh no, no, never meant to make you cry. Come on, search on, sing this song. I was looking for love. Yes, I was. In all the wrong places. Yes, I was. I was staying out late at night. And you be up waiting on me. Yeah. You wouldn't ask me where the hell I'm in. But I would have no excuse. No. All I know is I'm tired of lying, baby. And I'm so tired of hurting you. My daddy used to tell me, son, you never miss your water. Never miss your water.
Right, and we're back. This is Coy with the Black Tea Sip, and we have Lola of Lola's Love Life, and we are talking about Dating 101 today. Lori Harvey, y'all went crazy because Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey, well, you know, another one bites the dust. So I want to help some people out here. I want to help you. I want to bless you. Apparently, this is my ministry.
So in conclusion, you were saying that, okay, now put your stuff on social media. I'm a publicist, so I'm always...
Don't put your man on social media.
Okay, so is this a mistake that Lori Harvey may one day regret? Because she seems like she deletes whatever she puts out.
Well, this is what you need to know about social media. It's never really gone.
Oh, well, that's true. Absolutely.
It's never really gone. So someone's got it. Mm-hmm. And one day there is going to be a montage of all of her, of the hit makers. So there's going to be a montage of the hit makers. So, and it's going to be like Taylor Swift. They literally listed every single guy she had been with. So, and listen, you're going to want to lie about your number. You know, your body count. You can't lie.
I don't think so. I do believe that you're gonna lie about your body count, but even in your body count, I mean, some of these chicks that are like getting booed up real fast, they got bodies, you know.
Right.
And so I don't really know if that matters right now. I mean, like
listen,
Kim Kardashian.
Okay.
I mean,
but Kim, the kind of look, Kim is good to look at, but not everybody is going to want to wife a Kim Kardashian.
Right, I agree.
Because Kim got a whole porno out there, where, you know, I mean, it's one thing to paint, it's something else to swallow, it's something else. You know, I mean, Kim got a whole porno out there. I mean, they say when she did the Paper City and she was nude, they say Kanye threw his phone against in air, threw his phone across the airplane and broke it. So, you know, this idea that you can be a liberated woman and be sexually uninhibited is great, in theory. No man really wants that. And so you can say it's a double standard, you can say it's not fair, and you would be absolutely right. But you need to protect the perception of you, because when a man decides that he's in love with you, he's thinking about you as a wife and a mother. And do you really want a semi-prostitute as the mother of your children?
Well,
I'm just asking. I mean, I might be wrong.
But what I was gonna say is, the phrase hoes are winning, or hoes be winning, because they're the ones, your Kim K and what the other, your Dreyers, your reality stars that's been with a lot of people. They're constantly,
they're in relationships that break up. So if you are out here intentionally dating and your goal is to have someone there that wants to witness your life for a lifetime, then when you break up, that's not gonna happen. You have to start all over again. You're on an emotional roller coaster. You're going down in the valley, coming up to a mountain peak, and down in the valley and into. So let me tell you how not to do that. Let me help you out. This is what you need to do. Drum roll, please. This is what you need to do. You meet a guy. I've said this so many times before, and y'all just keep doing it wrong. You meet this guy, but you already talking to two guys, but you're just not quite as interested. But then you meet this guy, and you really are interested in him. He needs to chase you. Women should be pursued. This bullcorn that's on the internet where the woman is hiking her dress up and getting on one knee and proposing to the man, I'm sorry, that's back assward. That is not what you want to do. Because unless you want to be washing the cars and taking out the trash and cutting the lawn, that's not what you do. Because you have role reversed. And yes, you have roles. So these women that want to be independent, their feet are cold at night. These women, whether you telling this man you don't want nothing, your feet are cold at night, you don't have nobody there to warm your feet at night. I'm trying to help somebody.
Now, I will say I agree with that. I mean, and anyone out here saying that that's not what they want, they're independent, they're lying. Everybody wants to be in a serious relationship that is be a kept woman. That you are not out here trying to just keep yourself, because you will have cold feet. Don't nobody get used to cold feet.
Look, you can do whatever you want to. Some of y'all got weighted blankets. You feel like you're being hugged at night when you're by yourself. That's your thing. That's your thing. But if you want a live person there, then understand your role. This idea that men are intimidated because you make X, Y, and Z money. There are some men, yes, that are intimidated. Mm-hmm. That is true. But most men understand, especially black men who enjoy dating black women, understand that we have been put in a position where black women have been elevated over black men in the workforce. So that's not really their problem. Their problem is that while you are at work bossing somebody around, you want to come home and tell him what to do in the same way like he's an employee. That's his problem. His problem is that you are nagging, not telling or asking. That's his problem. So if you meet someone that you really like, don't decide that you need to stop talking to these other people, that you can't go out with your girls because you're going to be with him. He needs to not be so comfortable that he knows where you are every minute of the day, what you're doing, and who you're doing it with. He does not need to be that comfortable when you are dating. He needs to wonder. Listen, let me say something to you. Nothing sparks a man's attention like healthy competition. Now, you have men that say, I'm not going to play no games. Listen, Shakespeare told us, well, it really wasn't Shakespeare. It was a black woman, but she couldn't get on because Shakespeare was really illiterate. That's just a little FYI historical lesson for y'all. But because y'all believe it was Shakespeare, I'll go ahead. Shakespeare said that the world is a stage and we are all merely actors. Now, if he was saying that in the 1400s, then in 2022, nothing has changed. You need to make sure that he is confident in who you are as a person, that he will not feel disrespected. But he does not need to put you in a position of being a wife when you out here fulfilling the role and you have never even filled out an application and had it approved. You don't need to do that. And that is what y'all are doing. Whatever happened between Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan, he wanted to wife her. She wanted to life herself. There is a huge difference in making a man want you and being the person that a man wants. That's a big difference. Y'all need to understand what the difference is. And part of that difference,
what is the difference?
Is not, well, I think part of it is not making him feel exposed.
Okay.
Now, some men just go along with it because it's just what she's doing, but he feels exposed. I don't believe, and I may be completely wrong, and I'm sure y'all gonna tell me if I am, I don't believe that men that are constantly posted on social media with their women want to be posted. I don't believe that. I think they go along with it. I don't think they really want to do it. Because guess what? That man, he's not posting that amount of pictures. Look at the other side. Look at her social media. Look at his social media. Look and see if he's posting as many pictures of her as she's posting of him. Therein lies the difference. Pay attention to what's out there, because that man, he just let her do it, but he's telling his side chick, oh, I just let her do it because it gives her comfort. You're not stopping anything.
Right, and you're definitely not. And there's a chick laughing hard, like.
Well, it was on, it was two celebrities, they're rappers or something, and she was like, oh, with Puff Daddy, or Diddy, whoever he is today. I don't know why y'all still running around with him. Everybody know that he's the, I think he the bottom and the top. I think he just, whatever way he want to go. I just think that. I'm uncomfortable with Diddy. I don't understand the women. I don't, wait a minute now. Is too many reports of him saying he wanted to share his bed. Like, poor Usher can't hardly be in a room with him. Usher is so uncomfortable around Diddy. It's almost like, when you see them together, this is an aside. I'm just going to make this statement. I'm going to move on and get back on topic. I'm a little off task, and I recognize it. But whenever you see Diddy and Usher, you feel sorry for Usher. It's like Diddy is a pedophile, and he just doesn't know and Usher just doesn't know what to expect. It's very uncomfortable, and I don't know why these women are arguing over Diddy, but that just happened, to your point. That just happened.
Security.
Well,
I mean,
is it security when you could get the high five? Is it security when you get the monkeypox and die? Is that security?
I didn't say how the security came. Everybody don't have the same standards as
clearly, because I don't know a woman alive why she dates Diddy. I don't know.
So, I mean, we know people who have dated people, and we're like, I would have never even guessed. I wouldn't even have given that person anything.
Well, I'm saying out loud, unequivocally and categorically, that I don't know why people date Diddy. I mean, you said it must be the money, and I believe you. All right, we're going to talk about the difference between making a man want you in a way that'll make sense, because Lola asked the question. This is Corey with the Black Tea Sip. We got to pay some bills. We'll be right back in a minute. Oak Cliff, stand up.
Hello, I'm Lisa Burkhart Worley, along with Dr. Lynette Sim and Rosemary LeGrand, and we're the co-hosts of the weekly topical show Pop Talk, where you never know what subjects might pop up. If you like being surprised, you'll want to tune in. We've covered topics like overcoming negative self-talk, the change challenge, and we even had a beauty queen on the program. It's a grab bag of interesting people every Friday, Studio A at noon, here on the Fishbowl Radio Network.
Podcasters and internet radio hosts, it's time to take your show to the next level. Hi, my name is Sammy G, a 30-plus year radio broadcasting veteran, public speaker, and voiceover artist. And for the last 11 years, now the proud owner of Fishbowl Radio Network, the largest and most listened to streaming platform and radio station facility of its kind. 2 years ago, I created a proprietary system to help podcasters and internet radio hosts learn how to program their show like the pros, build a constantly growing and loyal fan base, and monetize their show. I teach this system every 6 weeks via Zoom to individuals all over the world. The Behind the Mic Masterclass is 6 one-hour classes that will finally take your show to the next level. Call today, 817-633-4880, 817-633-4880, and reserve your seat for the next Behind the Mic Masterclass.
Hey DFW, it's Luna and Nika, owners of Real Dallas Properties and Management, here to serve all your real estate needs. Nika, tell them what we do.
So we're a Dallas-based boutique real estate brokerage, and we're full service, which means we can help with every and any type of real estate transaction.
That's right, we got your back at every stage of life.
Whether you need an apartment, a home rental, to buying your first home, selling that home, buying investments, to even property management.
And don't forget commercial, looking for a new space for your business? We got you on that too. You can reach us on Instagram at Real Dallas Properties or shop all properties on the market at RealDallasProperties.com.
Hi, this is Diane Marion Eunice, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. For the past 9 years, I have worked with over 300 couples in the areas of sexual health, communication, and conflict resolution. If you are interested in rebuilding connection and intimacy with your partner, please contact me today. I can be reached at 682-201-8175, or you can email me at diane@letstalkrelationships.org, or visit my website at www.letstalkrelationships.org. And remember, you can't heal if you refuse to deal.
Attention, Kiko is hiring. You heard right. Kiko is hiring. Kiko is looking for you to fill the following positions: seamstress, machine operators, forklift drivers, loaders, packers, and baggers. 2 shifts are available. First shift Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Saturday, and 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. overtime. And second shift Monday to Friday, 4:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. Saturday, and 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. overtime. Kiko offers great medical benefits just 30 days after hire, and company match 401k. Visit us at KikoHome.com and submit your resume to Cariano@lkiko.com. You can also apply in person at 5450 West Keith Boulevard in Dallas. All interviews are conducted in person. Don't miss this great opportunity. Get hired today at Kiko.
America, your children have an amazing superpower. That's right, they can help save lives by simply washing their hands. Just 20 seconds of thorough hand washing after they've coughed or sneezed or been outside can help fight against the dastardly spread of germs. Armed with only soap and water and hands, your superhero can protect you, your family, and everyone out there in America land. Amazing! Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job. Tell me why. Why can't we live together? Tell me why. Why can't we live together? Everybody wants to live together. Why can't we live together?
Hello, all you melanated beauties, sun-kissed by God's lips. This is Coy with your black tea sip. I'm sipping power to pour you the truth. Go grab your cup. Let's fill it up.
All right, and we're back. This is Coy with the Black Tea Sip and with Lola of Lola's Love Life. And I thought today we would talk about dating.
Being educated, okay? I just don't even know. I mean, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I have no idea. Like, okay, stop posting.
Stop posting.
I'm a publicist. This is what I do.
But you don't have to post your man.
No, I've never. So when I'm dating someone that I like, or if I'm seriously dating, I don't follow them and I don't post them. I don't want to start getting in my own head and trying to put things together that aren't really there. So that's just my rule. I don't really do that.
Okay, so let's talk about that very quickly, because what I think a lot of women lack, and there are men that lack it. So this is not women bashing. I love black people, and y'all know my philosophy. There is no way to say you are a lover of black people and disrespect black women.
Right.
There's no way to do that. It's impossible. It's no such animal. But I'm going to be honest, because on this show we sip power to pour truth. I want to hear it go. When you are involved with someone and you start to find yourself with all of that anxiety, you need to exercise impulse control.
Right.
You can't say everything that comes out of your mouth or that comes in your head that should not come out of your mouth.
Right.
So here's an example of what I'm talking about. My cousin, I'm not going to say which one, she knows who she is. She's younger than me. She was dating this guy. She was really liking this guy. Now, this girl is really cute, got a cute little shape. You know, she's got a good job. You know, she's a sweet girl, handling her business. And, you know, never been married, no kids. And she's younger than I am. And she was dating this guy, this was several years ago, and they were really hitting it off. And he sent her a text and said, hey, I've got a family emergency. I'll get back with you. Or I'll holler later or something to that effect. She said, okay. She didn't hear from him anymore. The evening came, she called, she didn't get him. But she's thinking, well, he got a family emergency, he'll call me next day. So a few days go by. Now, they've only been dating about 5 weeks or so, maybe 6 weeks, okay? Now, all that is a grading period in school. That is not the whole average. You could fail the first 6 weeks and actually make a B for the year. So all we talking about here is 6 weeks, a period of time for you to have a grade, not the grade. 5 or 6 weeks go by. And so now he's gone, and she doesn't hear from him. So about that fourth day, 5 weeks, fourth day, she leaves one of those, I didn't do my impulse control check messages. If you want to be with another, then that's all you had. Completely off the Richters, off the scale, goes completely off. And not social media, but on his voicemail. Y'all gotta stop texting and leaving these messages now, because ain't no way to come back from them.
Yeah,
so,
you can't unhear what you've already heard.
He calls that evening. He's at the airport. He did not have adequate cell phone reception. He was at the hospital day and night. His grandmother raised him. His grandmother had a massive stroke, and they didn't know if she was gonna survive. He was on his way home when he got her message. Devastated, because he was about to call her and tell her everything's going through. Now, I had somebody tell me, well, he could have called her when he got home. You know what? If you've never cared for somebody who was in the hospital, you don't have time to do nothing. My dad had a brain aneurysm 2006, and I had 3 phones I was managing, mine, my mama's, and my daddy's. By the time I got home at night, I was so tired, I was asleep before my head hit the pillow. I was not really answering the phone. I was not calling people. If you've ever been in that situation, you know what I'm talking about. That boy wasn't ignoring her. But and understand this, men are not built like we're built. They can't handle trauma and all the stuff that we go through, and we're still managing every part of our life. They shut down. His mother, the woman that he raised him, albeit his grandmother, he did not know if she was going to live. He was in a bad place. She didn't allow for 4 days out of 5 weeks to make a determination to just give him the benefit of the doubt. Because here's the other thing. Put all the eggs in one basket. Well, should have been out dating, thinking about him, and still doing what she was going to do. But she's sitting at home trying to figure out why he hasn't called.
Well, and then don't make it about you, right? So when someone, for 5 weeks, I mean, it's 5 weeks. Now, we know this because we're older, but 5 weeks that's not really a long.
It's not a long time at all.
It's not a long time to make decisions, or to just assume that you all are, exclusive. And I think you're still learning each other.
You should be.
I mean, at this point, she would have been learning how he handles, trauma, or how he handles, bad news. Instead, you kind of cut the head off of something that cannot, that you can't come back from.
And he didn't want to talk anymore. He didn't want to talk anymore. And he said...
And it's a little selfish, because it's like you making this about you, about me dating other people. If you wanted to date somebody else, you should have told me. And it wasn't even, the whole situation had nothing to do with her dating him dating her, or anything. It had everything to do with his grandmother.
But let's say he was with somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say he was. Because everybody got somebody when you meet them. Mm-hmm. Now, whether or not that's their somebody or not, that's arguable. But everybody has somebody. Would you want somebody that nobody else wants? So everybody has somebody when you meet them. If you think that he's out here with another woman that he knew before you, a girlfriend is like a cold. You can get rid of her. So what you do is you cool. You easy. You don't need to do all of that. Because if he comes back and he calls you, more than likely you were on his mind when he was with her. Because otherwise, he would just hang out with her. She's somewhere else, or maybe even she's local. But you can't expect him to have nobody and to give you his whole being in 5 weeks. So you need to exercise impulse control. There are other men out there that are going to be interested in you. Stop deciding you dating him so you're not going to talk to nobody else. That's foolish on your part, and you're going to get what you get, which is probably a lot of foolishness and upsetness, and I'm making that be a word. So my little cousin felt horrible after she left that message, before he called. But after he called her back, and he was like, my grandmother had a massive stroke, and now she can hear the airport noise. He was like, I didn't have reception. You know, I thought about you, but I was just dealing with a lot. I had a friend say that knew this story kind of in real time, and said, well, why he couldn't just forgive her for that, and just, you know, why he couldn't just let her lay her head on his chest and tell her it's gonna be all right. I said, because in that moment he needed somebody. He can't always be the caretaker. He needed somebody in that moment. And she should have been the somebody after the little measly 5 weeks or 6 weeks. He should have been able to call her, and she say, well, where are you right now? Do you need anything? And help him deal with this trauma. Or decide that's too heavy for you and that's not what you want, and now you done bit the bullet because you see he can't deal with stuff. But it never should have been this kind of breakdown.
So, okay, how long is there a timeline when someone is dating someone where they become exclusive? And I'm just asking for a friend. Okay? You know, how long are those timelines? Because, I mean, we know that 5 weeks is I still probably can't remember your last name, and, you know, hope somebody doesn't ask me in public. But there are people that will know your whole family tree in 30 seconds, and now they have decided to create a collage.
That's a weirdo, and they probably gonna skin you and wear you like last year's Versace.
What is the timeline? Because women, you know, I think when they know what they want and they see someone with all these attributes of what they want, they tend to, you know, lock into hone into that person. And like you said, date other people, and I agree with that as well. However, how long does the casualty go until, or how long should you be casual before being exclusive? Or,
well, you know, there are some people that say it's a conversation.
Okay.
Usually it's not necessarily a sit-down conversation. It comes out through expectations. So oh Lord, I'm about to tell all my little secrets, and I don't like to do that.
I mean, you said
but let me go in my look. I'm not a magician, but I've been known to pull a rabbit out of my hat. What'd you say?
If there's a playbook, we'd like that.
Okay, so here it is, and you know,
run the play.
Here it is. Yes. Really and truly, what he has to do is start making comments about your comings and goings. Now, this is an easy way to do it. Now, some of y'all gonna have a conversation. That conversation don't really mean nothing. I mean, if you broach the subject as a woman and you start saying, I'd like to be exclusive, if he doesn't want to be exclusive, then what is, are you going, because you're dating to marry. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm not talking about y'all. The people that are dating to marry, then y'all, you done already cut and run, and you going to start over. Your clock just keeps starting over. Because that's ridiculous. Your clock keeps starting over. I'm not talking to y'all. But he needs to start being very curious about who you with. And there is a way to do that. He needs to start asking questions about your coming. And he's not gonna ask you outright. He's not going to say to you, where you been, who you with? He's not gonna do that. But he'll be like, you'll be talking about something or something that happened, and he'll say something like, so was that Were y'all together on Saturday night? Like, oh, my girlfriend did blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it was so funny. And you're just telling him about this moment. And he says, was that Saturday night? He's got expectations. What he's asking you is who you were with Saturday night because he couldn't find you and that bothered him. That is what he's doing. So then your response is not, oh, no, I was with my homeboy Joe Saturday night. Don't do that. Don't do that. This making him jealous stuff, you'll lose your man trying to make him jealous. Don't disrespect your man, especially if you want him to be your man.
So
you just say something like,
are there necessary lies? Because, I mean, if I was with Joe, I was with Joe.
Well, is Joe going to tell his other woman he was with you?
I don't know what Joe going to do.
Okay, so if you don't know what Joe is going to do, shut up. Okay. Don't you tell nothing about Joe. Joe is a secret.
Okay.
Joe is not somebody you talk about. Joe is a secret. Stop trying to make these men jealous. Let me just add this, and I'm going to get back on task. If you are leaving your husband to get his attention, you're going to lose your husband.
Okay. Big time.
There is a big deal now where women are filing for divorce, even though they don't want the divorce, and then they don't understand why they lost their husband. You filed for divorce. That cut him to the quick. If he could be the biggest philanderer in the world, but he expects his family to stay whole. If that is your expectation that he is going to come back to you, do not file for divorce. And I'm understanding that y'all are out here in these streets filing for feloniously filing. That's what y'all doing. You're feloniously filing. Don't do that. Now you want this dude to start asking questions about where you're going and who you're with. You don't have to disrespect him. You don't have to tell him when you're with other men. You just need to be intentional about, how you handle things. Handle things like he handles it with you. And that is the greatest thing you can do. If you call him and he doesn't answer and he sends you a text and he's like, hey, I'm going to holler back, I'm out with the boys, then that should be your response to him when he calls you. Even if you're sitting at home. Your response should be that that's what you're doing. Because if you want him to start paying attention in a very intentional way, then what he needs to feel in you is exactly what he gives you. So if he's with you and he doesn't answer his phone, then you do what he does. Turn your phone face down and tell your cousin to call you 3 times. You have to play games. It is sad. It is unfortunate, but these are the things you have to do if you want a man. You cannot be out here posting your whole behind on social media and then wanting him to see all the other men that make comments about your behind. That is not what he's looking for. And he's looking for, if you want to get married, then be the kind of woman that a man would want to marry. Because when a man thinks about a woman, he thinks about a wife and a mother to his children. And that is not some girl who posts all her goings on social media for his child to get kidnapped. That is not what he wants. So if you are out here trying to make a real love connection, then you need to be very intentional about what you tell him, how you tell him, where you are, and who you're with. And making him jealous that's not the ticket. So give him what he gives you. If Lola, if you invite him to an event and he say, I'm with my mom and I can't show up, you gonna have your chance to do the same thing.
Oh, yes.
Now, I'm not saying it should be tit for tat. I'm not saying you gotta be ticky-tacky. I'm saying in dating, if you want him to respond to you so that you can eventually have the conversation about exclusivity, then you have to spark in him enough questions for him to start asking you about your comings and your goings, because now it matters to him. Now that's important to him. And he wants to know who you're with and where you are, because he's making decisions about how he's going to deal with you. Don't say you with Joe, because Joe ain't told Lisa he with you. Don't do that.
Okay, so the response determines how he's going to show up.
His response is going to be very telling about how he feels about you. His response. Sometimes you need to just sit and wait and be quiet. I'm going to say this. This is probably giving way too much information. Ladies, a man will tell you everything you want to know if you just get quiet.
I agree with that.
Stop talking so much and listen. And stop asking 50 questions. Y'all have listened to Steve Harvey. I told you his wife is the mother and damn near the aunt to her own children. Stop listening to Steve Harvey. Steve told y'all to go out here and ask these men what their plan was for 30, 60, 90 days, or next year, 20 years from now. Where do they see this? Don't do that. Don't do that. All he wants to do is go on a few dates, and y'all will learn each other. He will tell you his hopes and his dreams and his desires. Give him time. But don't put him on a clock that he's got to answer questions on the first date or two. Stop putting these men on a schedule. If that's your intent to get married. You are not dating to marry. You are dating to learn if this person is worthy of you. Because if you just dating to marry, then you just gonna date the psycho that says he wants to get married. And listen, some of y'all getting married in 3 months, in 6 months, you engaged in 6 months, and your friends are celebrating that foolishness. He's a serial killer. I'm gonna take a quick break. This is Corbett the Black T-Sip.
Do you want to find a stable job in a growing field? IT jobs such as network systems administrators, cybersecurity, programming, cloud, and computer systems analysts are expected to increase 25% by 2022. Texas Premier Technology Institute offers training for top certifications such as CompTIA, Cisco, and Microsoft in less than 12 weeks. And if you're unemployed or underemployed, you may qualify for free tuition. Contact TPTI at 1-888-490-TPTI or check them out on the web at tpti.us.
You keep on asking me where I wanna be. I wanna be next to you. Baby, I'm thankful for the game that you're teaching me. I take it to heart. I want a piece of you. I wanna be yours. I wanna know what you're thinking. And when we talk, what you feel. There is a problem, babe. Don't know if it's real or not. I know what I feel. I need some more of you. You and me belong together. I don't mind showing you it's real. I feel your heart when it beat. Me and you, we on the same team. Yeah. I wanna be yours. I wanna be yours. I got a smart mouth, but I want it to be yours. I got a good heart and it's beating for you. Don't have to show me it's real. I wanna be, yeah. I don't mind showing you it's real. I wanna be, 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 yeah. I wanna be, I wanna be. Don't think I don't notice. I love how you glowing up. You taught me the basics about diamonds and snakes.
All right, and we're back. This is Corbett the Black T-Sip. We are talking about Dating 101 because after last week's segment, I got a lot of texts and DMs, and y'all were talking about, you were asking me some questions, and Lola is going to ask one of the questions that we got.
Okay, so we did get a question that, well, after giving us all this game, I mean, which sounds like a lot of work, and when you have a full-time job and a side hustle, this is exhausting. Dating, you've definitely made dating sound exhausting, but, I mean, I still...
Well, you ought to be exhausted, keep starting over. That ought to be exhausting.
Yeah, that is very true. But we did get another question. So, with all this that we've said, one of our followers wanted to know what we thought about having sex on the first date.
So here's my philosophy about sex on the first date.
Okay.
Your relationship is what you say it is. So people allow other things to come into the fold and make decisions about how they should react or respond. You listen to your homegirls and they, their boyfriend, needs batteries. So I don't think that's what you ought, what you ought to do. I think it's whatever you want to do. You know the comfortability in this situation that makes you say yay or nay to sex on the first date. You know, and okay, so here is some things to think about if this is what you're struggling with. Did you talk to him? You know, how long did y'all talk before you went out? What is it that you know about him? And you know, what is your comfort level? Because I don't have a philosophy about that, because I don't know each individual person well enough to say yes or no. Now, I will say this to you: if that is what you think you want to do, then you also have to ask yourself, if you never talk to this guy again, would you be all right with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree. If you are going to have a liberating moment with a guy because you're enjoying yourself on this date, it's got to just be about what you want to do and not what happens later.
That's right.
You cannot go in this thinking you know, Jasmine Sullivan, BPW, and you just gonna rock his world, give back thrust, and he is just going to...
And he's gonna be in love.
Yeah, and he's gonna be in love. Even if you turn over there that morning and give him head, he just may have a good day. And that's it.
And that's it.
And so I do feel like if you are having sex on the first date to seal the deal, you are much more in
you're in
for
trouble. You're in
a rude
trouble.
awakening than you really want to be that you want. Now I definitely say, hey, do what you feel comfortable doing, what you can wake up and look at yourself in the mirror and say, yes, I did, you know.
And don't tell your friends. Don't tell your business. No, nobody needs to know what happened on your date but you and he. Now, those of you who got your good girlfriends and you can tell them everything, all right, go ahead then. But that's nobody's business. Stop talking about your man in those ways to your friends. Don't do that. Because you have some friends out there their stuff is not working out and they don't want yours to either.
Right.
So if that's what you're doing and y'all, doing horizontal aerobics on the first night, then the first date, then don't tell your friends.
So how does having sex on the first date play into the game? That's what we're just gonna call it, black tea game. How does that play into it? Because
So here's my philosophy. I think most people, and I'm going to say this and y'all going to pounce on me, I think most people are ill-equipped to know themselves well enough to know how they're going to feel about it tomorrow. There is a rare breed of woman and man, okay? Because it's not just women out here trying to find happily ever after. It's men
through
too.
Orgasm.
So people, listen. If your thought process is you're gonna rock this person's world and then they're gonna be beholden to you, that's not going to happen. Okay? They're gonna say I had a great time. And they, even if they don't call you next day and it's 2 or 3 days to go by, most people are going to have some feelings about that. There is a rare breed of person who's not going to have feelings about that. So when you say, how does that play into the game? Well, what is it that you're trying to get? Overall, what is that you want?
I think, but that's why I feel like if sex on the first date, if the date's going good and you all sleep together, I think it definitely has to just be about you, and that's very selfish of me to say.
Well, no, that's honest.
But because if this is how you want to end the date for yourself, that's fine, and
right.
with no expectations. If you feel like you about to go in here and perform, because ain't nothing better to a dude than something new.
That's
so,
true.
And at this point,
unless
you
it's
are
bad.
It's not, unless it's bad. But at the end of the day, I mean, you should. I don't know. I don't think I ever have put on my best on for
first date.
For a first date.
And listen, women think that men just sleep with anybody, anything. Men have standards. They do have standards. Mm. They don't want, a lot of men don't want just any old woman in their house. These guys have standards. But I think if you think that you're going to seal the deal because y'all did the lay down Watusi, that's not going to happen.
Right. Yeah, it definitely has to be, and you definitely have to be okay with it. I mean,
you do. You have to know that if this jumps off and this is the direction it's going, if you don't ever talk to this dude again, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, and if you see him, you can say hi and keep it moving. Don't spread no lies and rumors because it didn't go your way.
And I think the problem is women are this thought that there's, X amount of men to so many women and you're never going to get married and your biological clock is ticking. And so you make these decisions because you're trying to move this thing along. That is not how you do it. Men typically want to marry someone that they have a connection with. Now, there are some guys out here that just want to get married. I mean, their biological clock is ticking too, and they want to be married, and so they're literally talking to you about being married and getting married and where you want to be married and how many guests would you have in 30 days. I think you ought to run from him. The girl who's talking to you about how y'all would have such beautiful babies and y'all been out 3 times, you need to run away from her because these people are not stable. They're not going to be able to handle all the ups and downs that come in a relationship.
Well, and they're needing this to feel whole and secure. This marriage, these kids, and all this other stuff. And so the pressure is on because their expectations of happiness lies in the hands of someone that they have actually, chosen to do that with, whether it's the first date or the 10th date. But yeah, so I do agree. I
think, Lola, you've said to me, well, what about just telling someone you want to get married? And I don't think it's anything wrong with telling someone that you eventually would like, you're interested in being married and having a family. I don't think that that's the lead. And I think that puts a lot of pressure on people because they're digging you and they're interested in you. But asking someone to fall into this category of being married is a lot.
I would like a guy, though. I've gone on dates and guys have been like, hey, I just don't want to get married. And I'm okay with them not wanting to get married. And I'm glad that they told me early, So now I have a different expectation. And so...
Do you continue to talk to that person?
We'll go out on, we'll still hang out. We'll still go out. When I say different expectations, I know that if this person is not interested in getting married and
there's a ceiling.
Yeah, there's a ceiling.
And there's only so much you're going to do.
There's only so much. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk. But there's no convincing or manipulating the situation for him to want what I want. But I would prefer for him.
Well, I think a lot of times men will, continue to date and they tell you that. And then women will think that they're going to change their mind. Mm-hmm. Or, he checks all the boxes, and eventually this box will come.
Or we think that we're going to change our mind. And you may not.
Yeah, and you're not. If you want a family, you want a family.
I think what I want is equally as important as what someone else wants. And I don't want someone to settle for me because I'm not going to settle for them.
Well, I think when we start talking about people wasting people's time, because that's what happened with the whole Lori Harvey thing. They said she wasted Michael B. Jordan's time. Well, she was 25.
Yeah.
He's 35. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure how she wasted his time because he may have wasted hers. Mm-hmm. And, because he wanted to get married at that time. Maybe she was going to be willing to get married in a year or in 2 years. But the relationship ended, based on the rumors, because none of these people have contacted me. But based on the rumors and innuendo and gossip, and even her crazy mama said some things, it was this idea that it was time to settle down. And you can't allow somebody else to pick your clock.
Yeah.
And I think when we start talking about wasting people's time, if you develop a relationship and you get to know someone, then are we really talking about a waste of time? Because this is someone that you know now, and this is, quite possibly could be a friend. And I don't think that friendships end because it's not moving to that next step. I think that people are in your life for a season. Now, how you deal with that season, some people are here for a season, some people are here for a lifetime. How you deal with that is totally up to you.
So, okay, I'm 41, and I did just so happen to go on a date with a guy who was 29. So,
Lord have mercy.
yes. And so, of course, he is like, it was like he was running off his resume, to be perfectly honest. It was a lot.
I could see that.
And I was still stuck on him being 29. Like,
right.
You know, life experiences, things of that nature.
He don't even know what Laverne and Shirley is.
And so, but I recognize that this age gap definitely meant that our expectations would be different and things of that nature. Doesn't mean we couldn't have fun. Doesn't mean we wouldn't have things.
That
in
means
common.
he could be one of the five.
One of the five or whatever. And so he did ask me, you know, because he did ask, like, what were my 5-year goals? And I was like,
he read Steve Harvey's book.
You know, and then, but I did tell him, you know, I wanted to get married and I wanted to have children. And, you know, he then said that is something he wants to do down the line. And I don't know what his down the line was compared to mine.
Y'all didn't match
but
up.
I definitely immediately recognized, because of our age differences, that it was going to be, it wasn't going to be long term.
Right.
So I know women mature faster than men. I don't think we mature 10 years faster to be on an expectation that they are claiming Michael B. Jordan is on. Now, this is what I wanted to say about that too, because Michael B. Jordan still lives with his parents. He bought a house and they all live together.
They live with him.
Yeah, they live with him.
Yeah.
And so I don't know about this wanting to get married to her. I mean, and all of this what everyone's saying about their breakup. But I will say that at some point, Michael B. Jordan had to recognize that our expectations based on life experiences is 10 years difference.
Yeah.
And so I can't really, you know.
Can't what?
So I can't really understand where her not wanting to get married, I don't know, tomorrow, other than next year, would have been the problem.
Well, if she said, okay, so this has happened to me. Somebody's talking to me and they're saying they want to get married and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, no, I'm coming out of something. I'm not looking to get back into something. You know, I think we're having some fun, and, you know, and he was like, well, eventually I want to get married again. And my thought was, and I don't know if this happened with Lori Harvey, because, you know, she doesn't call me. But my thought was, okay, well then you should spend your time with somebody else, because I'm not going to want to do that. And so I felt like I was being put on a schedule. Like I had to like commit to a time frame, and I don't want to do that. I don't know, because that's the other problem. He was dating to marry. I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to think about that. I don't want that to be part or factored into our relationship, because I'm coming out of something. Mm-hmm. I don't want to go into nothing else. Mm-hmm. I think at 25, this girl is just having a great time. If you want to get married at 25, get married at 25. But if you do not, then, you know, it's like, what was it, Independence Day, when the alien had the man around his throat and the alien told them, release me. I think that's what you ought to do. Just release them so that they could go on about their business and find someone who is ready. So instead of him dating a 25-year-old, maybe he needs to date a 30-year-old, because age does have a lot to do with it. You're young, you're beautiful, you're successful. You're handling your business, you're whole, you're complete, you have high self-esteem, you don't have mommy daddy issues, you know, and you're feeling good about yourself. You're not going to want someone to put you on a schedule. You have to also know that person that you're trying to put on a schedule is probably not going to be inclined to be put on a schedule of dating and engagement and marriage. And I know women that have said, if I'm dating a man, he has 18 months to propose. That is a lot of pressure. And then you want to know why you keep starting over. I don't think you ought to date a man 5 years. I know a girl been dating a man 20 years, And he's never proposed, and that's their thing.
But they're okay with that.
Well, I think she is acquiesced.
Okay, so because the thing is about relationships that last for like 10 and 12 years, they break up, and then the guy marries someone
right after,
like a year and a half, less than no time.
You know, remember I said it's a difference between being wanted by a man and making a man want you. Mm-hmm. Being wanted by a man is him enjoying your company and spending time with you, and y'all go out and y'all have fun and y'all talk 2-3 times a week, and that's great. When a man wants you, then the time that he spends is with you. He wants to be with you, and he demonstrates that you are the one. You know, you number one. That's an exclusive relationship. But there is a difference between a man just wanting to be with you and wanting to hang, because you'll have several men that want to be with you.
Right.
If you're lucky, you'll have a couple of men that want to, that literally you're it for him, and you're not going to get there by putting him on a schedule.
I agree with
you're not going to get there.
People like their freedom.
And it's not even about freedom. It's about him feeling like he can be who he needs to be when he's with you, and there is a way to do that, to make him feel like, you know, everything is so much better when you're around.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a way to do it. I mean, you know, Stevie Wonder told y'all a long time ago when he had that song, he said, what she doesn't know is I've listened to everything that she said. That is what you need to be doing. You need to be listening to what he's telling you, because what he's telling you is the things that he desires. He's not saying, I want a woman to do this, 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 and this. He's not saying that. He's telling you what's lacking and where he needs to be. This is why side pieces are winning, because all he's doing is telling her everything that the other woman is not doing, and she's fulfilling. Now, whether that's the truth or a lie, because a lot of times they lie about the health of their relationship. But she is fulfilling whatever she thinks those gaps and those deficiencies are, and that's how side chicks are winning. If you want to win your man, listen to what he's saying and then give him the things that he's not getting. This is Call with the Black T Sip. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Nourished skin is healthy skin. Simply Ardor skincare products provides luxurious nourishment for your body. Indulge in rich scrubs and body butters, and top it off with our sensational and unique aromatic lines of sprays and roll-on fragrances. It's simple and lovely. Simply Ardor. Love is real. Just spread it.
I've been waiting to share my love for such a long, long time. And the thought of loving you, it makes me smile. But I must be sure that this is really worth my while. Can I trust that you will always make me feel amazing? Baby, our love's contagious. We love the stages. This love we're making is fire. I take hits to go higher. Know that off just one kiss, I miss fire. Run, I saw Cupid with a gun. We make music and use it when it comes. We didn't choose it, but prove we get it done. The mood is setting for the sun. So baby, have a good
gorgeous, Miss Flawless, rule of the queendom. Truly knows what it takes to help and build a kingdom. Fly as a mother of the lady, stay grounded. Her ass ain't the only thing that be well-rounded. Strength of flow, Evans, dope is Miss Huxtable. The lady that you don't mind giving your loving to. You deserve a toast. Can I have this first dance? Met 3 times, I feel it's my last. Can I be your Isley brother? You my sister's sledge. Arousing my mental, baby, giving me head. Over your head, eyes above your breath. First order of business, praise and respect. Your grind is an art, hardly duplicated. Vivid as Van Gogh, Rembrandt can't paint it. Take me to new floors. Thank you for the elevate, pushing me higher. Thank you for the levitate.
And this is more than a dedication. Sacred love is a celebration. This is made for when you feel you can't make it. I'll build a safe haven, a place you can run when it's raining. I'll come when it's raining. Baby, keep a lookout for the sun. And maybe we can stay forever young and play forever until the moon. In love without wanting. So many never know it where we from. But I promise if you hold on, things will get better. Be strong. You never have to go at it alone. I know that it's a lot of temptation, a lot of trouble out there. But I swear that I'll be here when you get home. So baby, take the long way. Let your light shine, let your song play. Gonna speak your mind, lemonade, go Beyonce. I love your innocence, I give the world to you one day. Wake up every morning, pray for you, then I say,
amazing, baby, your love's contagious. We love the stages, this love we're making is fire. I take hits to go higher. Loaded up, just one kiss, I misfire. Run, I saw Cupid with a gun. We make music and use it when it comes. We didn't choose it, but prove we get it done. The mood is setting, so it's the sun. So baby, have a little fun. I like how you make me feel like this love could be so real. You and me could have some fun. Will I be the only one? I've been waiting to share my love for such a long, long time. And the thought of loving you, it makes me smile. But I must be sure that this is really worth my while. Can I trust that you will always make me feel amazing? Baby, our love's contagious. We love the stages. This love we're making is fire. I take hits to go higher. Loaded up, just one kiss, I misfire. Run, I saw Cupid with a gun. We make music and use it when it comes. We didn't choose it, but prove we get it done. The mood is setting, so it's the sun. So baby, have a little fun with it.
Bésame aquí. ¿Te gusta eso, no?
All you have to do is come here.
Ay, ay.
You know I got you.
Dámelo.
And we gonna keep it loose.
Sí, papi, así.
All right, this is Coy with the Black Tea Sip. If you're just joining us, we are talking about Dating 101, and we're covering some topics because you all came to me and said, listen, I have questions that, and one of the questions we received was about when I said you don't stop dating these other guys. And people seem to think that I'm saying have sex with all these men. And I don't even know why y'all would think I would say that. I told y'all.
I mean, dating's not sex.
No, it's not. And you got the high five out there and you got monkeypox. So, no. But I am saying, where you get the high five and that's water won't rinse it off. I mean, I know y'all see those commercials. Those people got to take that medicine for the rest of their life. And the high five will kill you, but this monkeypox is a virus and you up out of here. So I'm saying be intentional, but really pay attention to what it is you want. And if you want to be in a relationship, then there are things that you do to demonstrate that you're not crazy. Men think that women are crazy.
Why do men think that? I mean, what?
Because of lack of impulse control, living in your own head.
But guys they do that too.
But we say he is crazy. They say women are crazy. I'm not justifying it. Yeah. I'm part of the batch of people they say are crazy. But I do think that you do let your crazy peek out every now and then. My cousin, who's not crazy, let her crazy peek. It's like
he needs to be well vested before he show.
Before you come out with your crazy. And you can't jump off and just say, well, I know you with another bitch and blah, blah, because he's immediately like, oh, okay, it's one of these. You're just dating. You're just dating, and you have to understand what that means to date. You're not in a relationship with this person, man or woman. I'm not saying it's just women. There's some men out here that's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs too. They and I'm telling you, run. If you meet him and on the second day he's asking you and he's holding your hand and y'all at the wine bar and he starts talking about where would you want to get married? What? No, sir. That's not romantic, ma'am. He's ticky boom boom.
Now I've gone on a recent date where someone wanted to meet my family. And we had only been on maybe one date. So, and he was a nice guy.
Yes, and I was very concerned about that because I was wondering to myself, why? Why would you want to meet her family? Like, are you trying to be part of the family, sir? We've been out one time. And a lot of times women think that's romantic. I'm terrified of that. That is scary. You don't even, listen, when I lived in Florida, I dated a guy for 3 months. He thought I lived with one of my sorority sisters because every time he came into town, he picked me up from her house and vice versa. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know, he was dumb because clearly it was a one bedroom, but I mean, and when he popped up and he did not call and it showed up at her door, she was like, he's not here, she's not here, and she called me and I was like, oh, because to me, and he was like, his cell phone died. which probably happened because that was a long time ago, and but you don't just pop up. I did that for safety and security. You meet a guy and y'all already going over each other's houses. That is part of being invested. You need to set boundaries. There needs to be, what Steve Harvey did not tell y'all is that these 30, 60, 90 days, to me, that's not what it is. What you want to do is set boundaries and give steps. You don't let him in your home or know where you live for X or Y amount of time, and I'm not saying so many days, till you know him better. I don't think you should ever let a man know where you live unless you know where he lives.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's okay to meet him out. I think it's okay to meet him at your friend's house. You are dating this man. You don't really know him. I think that it is, people that introduce their children to someone that they don't know
well.
I
know someone that, every time and she gets in a relationship, it's
because she's papa shopping. See, some people out here intentionally dating, some people out here dating the mayor, some people out here papa shopping, and so you're getting it wrong. You don't, a man that tells you to come over to his house at 10 o'clock at night because he's got his son and his son is asleep, you don't need to go over there, ma'am.
Yeah, and the mere fact that he's okay with it, because guess what? You're going to have to wake up before Jesus.
To get out of there. Because what he don't want is his son to see you. You slipping in and out so you can beat the baby from waking up. That's not okay. Just say, no, I'll catch you later. And sometimes, ladies, you really do want to see him. You don't have anything going on. You enjoy your time with him. It is okay to say no. It is okay to say no and not go because it doesn't meet your standards. It doesn't meet your needs. You're not going to ultimately get what it is you want or you need from that relationship. It's okay to say no. I think that we do too. It's not enough of men actually chasing us. You should not be chasing him.
Pursuing us. Yeah, and you can't keep doing this audition, right? So the audition is, and this is what I've learned in just these few months of dating, like you're trying to put on this show or this performance, whether it's at dinner or even in the bedroom, and in hopes that just locks everything in fast or whatever, and you're not really being your authentic self. So people can sense that, like energy is real, and so they can sense that. So that shows lack of confidence. It shows it shows insecurity, like because you're really trying to convince someone that you are what they've been looking for, instead of just being who you are and whatever happens.
But how do you know what they're looking for? So how do you even meet that threshold if you don't even know them well enough to know what they're looking for? So you can't perform. You can't.
Or it's always going to be a bad performance.
And I think that if you're out here and your goal is to get married, and everybody should be miserable once. So if that is your plan to get married, then you really need to decide what it is you want. And I see all the time on Black Twitter, I want somebody 6'3", and I want him to have the body of a Greek god, and I want him to make six figures, and I want him to drive this. Okay, that's fine if that's what you want. There's nothing wrong with having desires. The problem is, are you fit? Do you make six figures? Do you have the body of a Greek goddess? I just think you ought to be realistic. If you are 5 feet tall and you wear a size 10 and everything is not proportioned, just gonna leave it there. That man that's 6'3" and with the body of a Greek god, probably not interested.
Right. I think, well, like you said, in order to be pursued, you have to definitely reflect what you're seeking out for, and a lot of us don't do that because we are looking for people to change our lives and save the day so that we don't have to
Captain Saving was just a song. E40 made it. It was just a song. Is I, kiss I, whiz I. Because then they came out later and said she don't want to be saved. Just, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. So
it ain't tricking if you got it.
I'm saying you need to be realistic. And this idea about you want him to have 6 figures, okay, if that's what you want, but know what 6 figures means. I think people need to stop looking at social media to find their ideal person. What is it ultimately that you need in a relationship to be whole, to be good? I just think if you know that you were married for a period of time and you didn't work and your retirement is not going to be good, then you probably need to find you an ex-military man. Look, let me give you this game. This game right here should be sold and not told. You need an ex-military man because you need a career military man who is retired from the military because he's going to get a military check. If he retired from the military, he also get a disability check. Something wrong with him. Sometimes they be ticky boom boom, but most of the time it's just their knees and their hips and joints and things. He's going to get a check for disability, and then he retired young enough if he went in at 18 where he's still working, so he's going to get a civilian job. So he's got 3 checks. Now I don't care if he is 6'5" or 5'6". If you know you don't have no retirement and you 45, 50, 55 years old, you need a military man. So forget the height. This is what you need. I'm trying to help y'all out here. You go get you a military man who can give you a retirement. You listen. You need to stop referring to your dogs as your fur babies if you want to have a real baby. That's not your fur baby. That's a dog. He got 4 legs. That's weird to dudes. That's weird. They don't like that. That's weird. I'm telling you right now, stop doing that. Just say, I love my little puppy.
Well, I mean, what's unrealistic to some may be realistic to others.
That's weird to dudes. That's weird. I got a man in here right now nodding his head. That's weird. He doesn't like that.
My God.
It's a fur baby.
Oh, I don't have dogs, just in case, because I'm still.
I'm trying to help y'all. So I want you all to understand what is going on in social media. What you see, what you aspire to, should not be to mimic that. You don't want to mirror that. You want what your relationship is. What you say it is. It is what the two of you come to understand. No one else should be commenting on that, and you should not open the door for their comments. That girl told me she won't know if we were incognito, and she wants somebody to tell her if she sees him doing something. Why would you invite that in? Why would you tell me that your desire is for other people to be able to tell you their opinion about your man and your relationship? So now it's just not a relationship between you and he. It's a relationship between you and he and everybody that you've opened the door to on social media. That's a lot of people in the bedroom. You look like to me you want to do something different. If you are dating someone, then you need to ask them how they feel about their likeness and their image being plastered all over the internet. Because I don't particularly like people posting pictures of me. I don't like being out and someone does the video thing, and I don't take pictures when photographers at events, that photographer that is, assigned to that particular event, I don't let them take pictures of me because I don't know if he's going to put my face on a naked body. You have no control over that. You don't know what you're opening the door to. And so when Lori Harvey deleted the pictures, she deleted anything that was going to be said or anything that was going to open the door that was going to cause her any grief. And she was being demonstrative about this is over. Next, that was Lori Harvey. I'm going to take a quick break and we'll come back. I got some things I want to tell y'all about what's coming up. You need to stock up on meat. I'll try to help y'all. But, we're doing relationships and dating because that's what y'all asked for. This is Corey with the Black Tea Sip in a minute.
Do you want to find a stable job in a growing field? IT jobs such as network systems administrators, cybersecurity, programming, cloud, and computer systems analyst are expected to increase 25% by 2022. Texas Premier Technology Institute offers training for top certifications such as CompTIA, Cisco, and Microsoft in less than 12 weeks. And if you're unemployed or underemployed, you may qualify for free tuition. Contact TPTI at 1-888-490-TPTI or check them out on the web at tpti.us.
Okay, and we're back. This is Corey with the Black Tea Sip. If you joined us today, we talked about dating. I'm trying to help some of y'all.
So the takeaway for us daters who are intentionally dating
to get married.
Yes, to intentionally dating, wanting to get married. Anyway, the takeaway is, what would you say the takeaway is for our lesson for today?
The lesson for today is to meet someone and develop an organic relationship, and do not put it on a time frame. Don't start asking someone, well, if you met somebody that you fell in love with, how long would it be before you decided you wanted to get married? Don't do that. That's scary. Don't start, because what you're doing is you're building your clock. Now, I think that if that's what you want to do and you want to get married, you do need to find out if he is marriage material. And by that, I mean if he's someone that wants to get married. If he's, and I think you do ask that question a little earlier, if he's previously divorced. And if he has children, you ask the question, would he ever want more children? That's an okay question. To ask someone, do you want to get married and how many children would you have with your new wife? Well, ma'am, that's intrusive. So understand how to ask the questions that you want to ask. But you don't need to have it on the first date, I'm going to ask this, on the second date, I'm going to ask this. And there are people that are out there doing that. And you're scaring people away. You're starting over because you're dating to marry instead of dating to find someone that you could possibly marry one day. There's a difference between those two intentions and how you react to them. I think you need to not put your relationship on social media. Y'all are living, men and women, to change your status to in a relationship. For what? For what? Why are you doing that? I think you need to ask yourself some questions. So here's the first question you need to ask yourself, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave it there because I wanna give y'all some tools and resources for the future of this crazy world we live in. The first thing you need to do is ask yourself, what is your deal breaker? What can you absolutely not live with? If he has flatulence and you just can't handle that, then the man who has a flatulence problem is not for you, ma'am. You don't need to be trying to set up doctor's appointments and help him out. That's just not the dude for you, because flatulence is your deal breaker. So stop trying that you think you can create something in someone that you can help them achieve, that they can be something later. Ask yourself, what are your deal breakers? Number two, and know what they are. Okay? Number two, you want to know, personally, you want to know how long is it that you can date someone before you really know them as a person. Now, the Bible says you have to season a person. That means 4 seasons. That means spring, summer, fall, and winter. That does not mean that he's supposed to propose on December 31st. It takes a season to know someone. That means a year before you really have had a chance to know if he puts the toilet paper on the roller wrong, if that's going to throw you into something. You need to know that, but that takes a year. That doesn't take 3 months. So ask yourself, how long do you think it reasonably takes you to know someone and for them to know you well enough to be in a committed relationship? Because a committed relationship leads to marriage. You don't date and go to marriage. You're in a relationship before you get to marriage. Number 3, these are the 3 things now. Number 3, you need to know from yourself, what is it that you need in a mate, in a partner, in a spouse? If you make a lot of money and you're willing to share your money, then money's not it for you. If you hate buying groceries and you need someone who can buy the groceries and cook, then you're looking for that kind of man. You're not looking for a man that y'all can do cooking classes together, because you've already decided these are the things that I need in a relationship. Women, understand, and I am saying this to women only, feeling secure in your relationship does not mean that he's going to go and beat somebody up. That's not what it means. It means that you feel that he is protecting your heart, that he is intentionally protecting your heart, that you don't have to worry about if he's going to hurt you or disrespect you. And if you find yourself in a situationship, a relationship, dating with someone who makes you uncomfortable in that regard, that you don't feel protected and secure, that is not the man for you. All right. 1, 2, 3. Basically, know yourself well enough to be able to be involved with someone else. And when it's time to go, then it's time to go. And you don't hang around waiting on a return on the investment because you'll never get it. When the signs are there that it's time to go, then pack your bag, boo. It's time to go. You're not going to create something in this person. Stop trying to make these people be what you think they should be. All right, I got a video I want to share with you because we got to get out of here. Angelo, run the clip.
I understand people being concerned about gas prices, but what you really need to be concerned about is what your food pricing is about to jump to, okay? Calves and babies are just now being born. Keep that in mind. So the cost to raise them hasn't hit yet. This bale of hay last year was $4. Bag of grain last year was $6. This trunk full in here last year would have cost me $14. Today, $20 for a bale of hay, $18 for a bag of grain. I got 2 bales in here. It's $58 worth of food. Last just my goats and my horses 2 days. That's it. Wait until the prices catch up with your slaughter market when we start rendering animals in the fall. Prepare for $17 a pound chicken, $25 a pound bacon, $30, $40 a pound beef. It is coming. It's not a joke. Please be cautious. Please prepare.
All right, now, for me, I always try to leave y'all with something. So now, this was never my goal to do dating shows, but y'all keep coming to me, so I'm going to have to do them. We're going to do Lola's Love Life. We're going to do Dating 101. We're going to do some segments so that we can move past it. But, you know, my goal is to share and celebrate the Black life experience. I want to tell y'all right now, start buying extra meat. Start doing it right now. Start loading up. Get you a deep freezer. Go to your mama house. Y'all start talk to your family members. Y'all start splitting it. Start doing family dinners again so that you can help, because she's not wrong. Right now, you have the president of Ukraine that is saying people are going to starve because the Russians are blocking a way for them to get the grain out. They are talking about people are going to starve all over the world. They're the largest producers of grain. Now, in America, we run a little differently, so we may not hurt as bad, but we've already had a soup kitchen. And listen, history repeats itself. We just got a lynching law on the books 2 months ago. This is going to happen. Now, we didn't believe it when they said the market was going to collapse and everybody was buying real estate. I fell into that, and then it went kaboom, and that's the technical term. It went kaboom. Mm-hmm. She is telling you. Start buying. I don't know about y'all. I like bacon. I don't know how you can eat a waffle or a pancake without bacon, but at $25, I'm going to find out, because I'm not buying $25 a pound bacon. I will get my own pigs and kill them in the backyard old school before I pay $25 for some bacon. My babies are going to do without. We don't need to eat swine no way. That's what I'm going to be telling them. We need more plant-based. Those of you that are considering getting a garden, start getting a garden. Start doing your research, talk to your friends. There's a bunch of country people living in the inner city all over the United States of America. Start talking to them, because I am telling you, Black people, sun-kissed by God's lips, you have got to be better prepared, because we're going to be the ones that hurt, and we don't want to go back to the soup kitchen. All right, we'll do it again, same bad time, same bad channel next week. We're going to start doing a segment on dating, but we got to talk about politics. We have to talk about school shootings. We got to talk about Biden and HBCUs and all the things that make me me. And I'll see you again next week. Hugs and kisses, diamonds, pearls, and Jerry curls.